So I'm going to bring in Rob G because Brock Purdy, kind of breaking it down from John Lynch to Kyle Shanahan to Brock Purdy, all have kind of had a few things to say last couple of weeks about his performance and his play and kind of what they're expecting, the difference between 2024 and in 2025.
Yeah, well, it started on this show when we were talking about something Christian McCaffrey had said about him, actually. And he was saying how he is a special quarterback. That was the word that Christian McCaffrey used, and kind of raised some eyebrows around here, especially because we know Rob Parker, not the biggest Brock Purdy fan. Well, earlier this week, Albert Breer, the MMQB, caught up with everybody involved with the Niners brass. GM John Lynch, head coach Kyle Shanahan, and Brock Purdy himself. And as you guys know, when they paid Brock Purdy, it required them to relinquish a lot of really good players because they just could not financially keep everybody. You know, Dre Greenlaw's gone. Hufanga is gone. A couple of former all-pro guys are out of there. And as a result, they're using the term retool with this roster. So John Lynch was asked about the idea of retooling this current team and what his expectations are with Brock Purdy at the center. And here's what he said, quote to Albert Breer. I think you embrace it, and you're buoyed by the fact that we have people we respect that have done it. The Rams have done a nice job of doing that and never missed a beat, stayed competitive. And then Buffalo, obviously, it helps when you got Josh Allen, but hey, we've got Brock Purdy. So, speaking very highly of his quarterback, which is interesting because later in the article, they asked Brock Purdy a similar question. And in his response, he explained why his play, he felt, tapered off 2024 as opposed to 2023. And in his answer, Brock Purdy said this, quote, I felt this pressure on myself that I needed to be this Superman type guy and go and make plays off schedule. There were some moments when I was like, dude, you got to go back to the basics. Doesn't matter who's out there. The way Kyle calls the plays, you run it right. That's like your rookie year. It works. Stick to that. Be consistent. So a dichotomy of thought, it feels like, between what the GM expects from Brock Purdy and what Purdy expects from himself.
All right, I want to jump in on the Brock Purdy side of this. I think we all can relate. There have been instances in your life where maybe an opportunity is on the line, Ephraim. You're competing for something. Maybe it's a job. Obviously, not everybody plays professional sports, but it's a job. You're trying to get it. Maybe it's a girl. Something big is on the line, and you start to overcompensate, right? You start to change your approach a little bit and really start to do more than what is asked of you and what had worked previously. In his case, by the way, a bunch of money's on the line, right? He hasn't gotten that new extension, hadn't gotten this deal, still operating off a little bit of money. You remember Mr. Irrelevant. And so I think that plays in the back of your head. He might not admit it. That's in the back of your brain a little bit. Also, he mentioned it. You were in a Super Bowl. Jimmy G had been in a Super Bowl. And I think in the back of your brain, I want to get us back, get us over this hump. This organization deserves it. That would be great for me, my teammates. I love them. Let's get back over. We got to get back to the Super Bowl. That has to be the barometer, the Super Bowl. And again, you get outside of yourself, you overcompensate. Something I think many people struggle with in life, also a little bit of imposter syndrome. Maybe there's a little bit of him that's still shocked that I'm 7th-round pick, Mr. Irrelevant, last pick, and I can't believe I'm in this position, leading one of the blue blood organizations in this league. There's actual expectations on me. And I think there's, again, you're trying to go outside of yourself because you're like, I have to prove it. I can't believe I'm here. And what really worked for you was staying within the system. From top down, they've done well with getting guys, drafting guys, free agency, and then Kyle Shanahan has done well providing you with kind of the offensive schematics to have productive years and to move this thing along. You have all pro players around you, and even when they're not, you can still operate and make plays and live to play another day and also put some things in your defense, a la Patrick Mahomes. Rob Parker sits here every day for no reason. Rob G and I will all be talking about something on the show, and he'll be like, it reminds me of Patrick Mahomes. His number's 28-11. Aaron Rodgers had the same. They weren't the same quarterback. Because when you start to look in those numbers, Aaron Rodgers was at the very top low, I think the lowest 5 of QBR and making plays that mattered. You know where Patrick Mahomes was? Number 1. So, yes, his numbers weren't gaudy, 40 touchdowns, only 5 interceptions, so and so. He made the right play when he needed, given everything that was around him, Ephraim. Backs are out, guys are injured, receivers are injured, guys are in, they're back out, all of that. He knew I had to just make a couple of plays here or there. Defense spectacular. We got a chance to win. Peak Tom Brady, sometimes it's that. I'm about to slant right y'all to death. I'm about to death by 1,000 paper cuts. Just get it done, get it out, live to play another day, make the right play. And I think Brock Purdy is saying, I need to get back to that. I don't have to be a hero. I don't have to prove it. I don't have to show you that I'm the guy, and get back to being you. Now, there is more responsibility that you got all this money now and you're the leader of this franchise. We've now invested in believing you. And yes, there are going to be times you have to make plays with your legs. You're going to have to extend plays. But the idea that you do have to do it every play, that we're not relying upon you to do that. Otherwise, we're not doing our job. And I give you an example, a favorable one for him, what he looked like against the Lions in that NFC Championship game. Lions up 17, going to the second half, feeling good. Everybody I know from Detroit was doing what we, the little boss up dance. And everybody's booking spirit.
Is that what the dance is?
And they're bossing up. Don't do that. Don't do that. Okay. Oh boy. They're bossing up and they're booking spirit flights to Vegas. They're on their way to the Super Bowl.
With their buffs?
With the you know about it, with the buffs on and everything. And then Brock Purdy made plays when he needed to, extended plays, made some great throws, and you're like, shoot, that's the best version of him. So my whole point is, Ephraim, this is good for him realizing I may have been overcompensating. I may have had a little imposter syndrome, freaking out and showing I have to do more than I need to, and getting back to relying on what this team does well, relying on the weapons. Kittle still is back and looks healthy. McCaffrey's back and looks healthy. You got some pieces around you. Also just made a trade as well to require what's his name from the Chiefs as well. So you've got some pieces around. Sky Moore, we'll see what happens there. Maybe he can be better than he was with them. Just get back to that.
Yeah, I think it's this is his year. It was a whirlwind.
Mm-hmm.
He came in 3 years ago, got hurt, went 5-0, went all the way to the NFC Championship game. Then the next year came out and I think started 7-0 or something like that, and they went all the way to the Super Bowl.
Yep.
And so he's had some success. He's shown that he can play at a very high level in this league. And I've always been a fan of his because I know how hard it is to come in with really no expectations and then change people's perception of you as a player. And that's what you do if you have any success as a 7th-round draft pick. Tom Brady did it.
Yep.
I was a 7th-round draft pick who played 13 years, 159 games. And so there is a lot of pressure and responsibility on you after you've changed people's perception of who you are as a player. All he has to do is just go be him, because he showed us. He started. I remember actively talking about those games on my Sunday night show as he was rising. I was like, man, this is out of control.
Mm-hmm.
And so all he's done in 3 years is have a 70% win percentage, 67 touchdowns, I think 25 interceptions, and 9,500 yards in 3 years. 2 full years of starting and 5 games the first year. If you were to tell me that was a first-round draft pick,
we're right on track.
He would be like, he's right on target. He's right on pace. But because he was the last pick in the draft, people are like, oh, well, the other shoe's going to drop off. He can't be possibly that. It had to be this and it had to be that. No, he played a bunch of football at Iowa State in college, had a lot of reps. He knows exactly what he's doing. Now he just has to be him. Don't be what others perceive you should be. Just be you. Kyle Shanahan's a tremendous offensive mind. You got a great team, great organization, and just let the game come. And that's where he is now. It's no longer underpaid.
That's not an excuse.
No longer underpaid. Life is a little bit more comfortable for him and his family now. So now you don't have to worry about any of that. Now you just really going out there and playing. You back out on the street, back in the backyard, back in high school, back in college. Just go let that thing rip, man, and good things will happen.
I think that, and I think, again, most of us have to go through that in something where pressing is the word.
Yeah,
just
life,
pressing.
man.
You're
That's
pressing
life.
You're pressing, and and you realize, man, I'm best off when I'm doing me. I'm best off when I'm trusting the team around me, in this case, literally the team, also the system and organization around me. You got a great – Kyle Shanahan's been great. Now, listen, does he need to run the ball when he needs to run the ball sometimes?
Yes.
In big-time games?
Yes.
Super Bowls, whether he's the offensive coordinator or the head coach, whether it be Atlanta or San Francisco? Yes, but you still have those things built around you for a successful run to the tune of all the money that you've just gotten. So to me, I like that he's acknowledged that. I like the organization from top down is saying we clearly believe in him. We've invested in him. And they're saying let's get back to business and doing what we do best. So 877-99 on Fox. Let's take some calls on this, Ephraim. Let's do it this way. When Rob is generally here, not paying him, get out of here. I think he's closer to being 7th-round pick than anything. I think there's better out there. Oh, and by the way, Rob also would say, get rid of Kyle Shanahan too. Just blow everything. He's a huge get rid of Kyle Shanahan guy.
All right.
877-99 on Fox. But maybe you are too. Maybe you say, I'm just still not convinced on Brock. I think Brock is what we saw last year is really who he is. Or maybe you think that he's in the right place and this year should be better. Either way, it doesn't matter. 877-99 on Fox. We want to hear from you. It is the Odd Couple talking about Brock Purdy. And basically he recognized that, look, man, I don't have to be Superman to get it done. And I think sometimes we mix up some of the best quarterbacks we think of had years where that's when they're at their best, they didn't become Superman. You know, everybody can't be Josh Allen right now. He literally jumping over people in snow looking like Superman. And Lamar Jackson, we already know what he does. So you and I were kind of on the same page about that. I wanted to throw it out to a few calls, 877-99 on Fox. Let's go to Chili. Tim and the ATL. Tim, you're on with the Odd Couple Fox Sports Radio.
What up, Kelvin? What up, Ephraim?
What's up, bro?
Tonight?
We're doing good,
well,
man.
You know I'm the resident 49ers fan. Been a 49ers fan since 1982, so I'm a real fan. I look at it this way, and one thing I want 49ers fans and other people to stop saying Jimmy went to the Super Bowl, okay? This guy went to 2, possibly would have been in 3 had he not got hurt in the NFC game, and I think they had a good shot of winning that year. I think they actually would have beat the Chiefs had he played, and they made it to the Super Bowl instead of the Eagles. So I don't hear about Jimmy G got to 1, he got to 2, and only missed a 3rd because he was injured. And I think all he has to do is just go out there and just did what he did those first 2 years and just play his game and just, work the system. And it's okay to be a system quarterback. Everybody makes it like it's a bad thing, but hey, if it's getting the results that he's gotten, I'm sure a lot of guys want to be system quarterbacks to get to 2 Super Bowls, and 3 NFC championships. So I say go out there, glad you got your bag, do what you did, go back to what you did, and you got a good chance of getting back again.
All right, there you have it. Yeah, man. I mean, you're high on them, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely.
Appreciate you, Chili.
Yeah, I think he's think he has what it takes, and obviously he's proved to be a starting quarterback in the NFL.
Let's go.
There's so many others who haven't.
Oh, big facts, and there's some who come out highly coveted and never really get the job done as well. So he's 7th round. We've seen 1st round. We've seen first picks not be able to do it. Let's go out to New Jersey. We got Drew in New Jersey. Drew, you're on with the Odd Couple, Fox Sports Radio. What's up, Drew?
Hey, guys, I think it's mainly the narrative. I don't think you look at him, he's not cool. The Shador Sanders, we like the very outgoing, the media likes that. A prime example, I put him in the same category of Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts has an aura. I felt like before he won the Super Bowl, yeah, you had some people say he couldn't win based on his playing style, but he's a likable person. Mm-hmm. On the other side, look at Nick Sirianni. At the same time, when Jalen Hurts won it, we're like, hey, let's put him in the top 5, but then we're like, what do we do with Nick Sirianni, right? I look at Brock Purdy as that same caliber as Jalen Hurts, where he's not a superhero like Josh Allen, Lamar, Patrick, but you put him in that next category where you still need your, the truck driver versus the trailer, right?
Okay.
I think he's a trailer, but I think that there's very few that can do that.
I thought when you said,
I think he's elite.
Ephraim, when he said him and Jalen have something in common and he sees them as similar, I thought he was talking they both wear khakis. I don't know what Jalen is with this Nino Brown look he's been in with the khakis and the black turtleneck, and it's like a hybrid of Nino Brown and The Rock in high school. I don't know what's going on with Jalen right now. But the 49ers, I think they're in a good position where we talked about this Friday. I think, me and Rob G, that we were doing a segment on, and I can ask you this quickly before we get to Steve, too. We were doing a segment on worst to first. Which team could kind of go from having a bad, season, worse in their division, and then bounce back. Rob G said it was the Giants. He thinks they have a chance to jump in front of everybody. I said the Titans in their division have a chance. If the Texans were to stay put or go down to 9-8, maybe they could jump and just be around there. We both said we fully admit, though, the 49ers will be the more logical one as far as just the obvious, but that it will be difficult considering the Rams still projected to be really good. You don't know exactly about the Cardinals, and then we also don't know Sam Darnold. What will he and the Seahawks be? But you're big on the 49ers, not just Brock Purdy.
Yeah, I think it's a well-run organization. I think John and Kyle really work well together and putting a roster together and bringing guys in and getting the most out of their talent. Not many organizations can survive a botched move up, give up assets, first-round quarterback. They didn't miss a beat, and that's a testament to the program and the team that they've assembled. Now, health is a big part of that. Right now, you could go play receiver for them. They're having some health issues at receiver.
I got 2 catches in me.
But right,
that's it.
As long as one is for a first down and one is for a touchdown, we'll take it.
Man.
But I think Brock Purdy understanding now it's his ship. It's his, like, there's no looking over the shoulder, brother. You got the bag. You are the guy. And just now seeing what his leadership style will be. Like, coming in there, he will be a team captain. Mm-hmm. And how can you lead them? And having, Christian McCaffrey on your side is a huge asset when it comes to taking a lot of pressure off any quarterback at any level.
Without a doubt. And having that guy back from pass catching to just being a decoy on some plays, obviously running the ball as well, that's going to be good. And then bringing in Robinson Jr. to run the ball, it's a little more heavy hitter. That's a good pickup for them as well.